Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all having the best day ever. I cannot tell you how excited I am to first of all be here with you. Thank you for clicking and choosing to spend a little portion of your day with me, or night, whenever you're watching. But I'm just so grateful to be back in my apartment filming YouTube videos for the reason that, if you're aware, first of all, I've been doing Vlogmas on my second channel. If you want to go down and subscribe, check it out. We basically have like a week of Paris vlogs over there. We're going to have a couple days of Ireland vlogs, and then we're going to have like a week and a bit, even longer, of New York City vlogs, and then back to Ireland vlogs and Brighton. And you guys are really enjoying Vlogmas, and I'm really excited, and I'm really enjoying doing it. But living out of hotels has been very difficult to film main channel videos because the lighting has been hideous. So I'm really excited to be back with my ring light, as you can see right here. Someone did comment and be like, why can't Adam just sit here so we don't see it? Now, I understand the rule of thirds and stuff, but it's just way more comfortable. I've made like a butt-ass indent. I didn't get butt implants, not yet, indent in this part of the bed, so it's like more comfortable to sit. But anyway, we are going to be talking about what is going on with Tana and Jeff. Now, I'm surprised more people are not talking about this, and I was like actually like baffled because Tana was being so gaslighty towards Jeff Wittek. Now, I'm aware, when we hear the word gaslight, first of all, my mind automatically goes to like Gabby Hanna, like he gaslit me, and I'm like, but also, I feel that the word gaslit and gaslighting has been so overused, specifically within the YouTube space that we involve ourselves with, if you're watching this video. So I always kind of roll my eyes whenever people talk about it, and I'm always like, alright, what do you mean? And now, for like 3 out of 10 times that someone says they're being gaslit or someone's gaslighting them, it is the truth. But 7 out of 10 times, it's not the right word to use. Now, it's specifically the right word to use within this Tana and Jeff situation, and we're going to get into it. Now, we have a lot to read through, but basically, if you're not aware what happened, I would watch my last video, but I'm going to kind of summarize it here. So, Tana Mongeau and Jeff Wittek, who was a member of the Vlog Squad, who, if you remember, had the excavator stunt with David Dobrik, where David Dobrik nearly made Jeff lose his life, and Jeff had to go through so many like life-altering surgeries, and Jeff was very much so cut from the Vlog Squad and David Dobrik's like friend group whenever this happened, and Jeff said he's now suing David Dobrik for like $10 million, I think, but Jeff wasn't going to sue David Dobrik because he was, you know, still being like, David's my friend and all like this. It's very much so like comes across hierarchy. David Dobrik is fucking terrifying. But he wasn't going to sue, but then he said that David Dobrik didn't fulfill the promise of paying for the hospital bills that Jeff Wittek had, so he's now suing for that, and also just all these other things, right? Now, I think Jeff should have been suing from the get-go, and a lot of people say, why did it take Jeff so long to sue? Now, when you have such serious head injuries, life injuries, that David, you know, made happen to Jeff, I'm not going to judge someone's state of mind or how long it takes them to process something or whatever, and I was rooting for Jeff to sue David because David gets absolutely no accountability, whatever. Again, another word overused within the YouTube space, but I think it applies directly to David Dobrik. So, Jeff Wittek, now that's his current thing, and he's doing the Jeff FM podcast. Now, Tana Mongeau, who is infamous party girl, is, you know, frequently like a co-host on the podcast, and her and Jeff Wittek have kind of turned into having this like very like public friendship. Like, they are like publicly a duo now. The issue with that is that Tana Mongeau is best friends with David Dobrik and all of the Vlog Squad. Now, this has always confused me, and it's always made me feel that Jeff and Tana's friendship wasn't the most authentic because Tana like plays both sides, like throwing back and forth when she's hanging out with both of them. And my thing has always been like, if I was in Jeff's position, I could never trust Tana Mongeau if my best friend was being best friends with the person who nearly ended my life. And not only just like, maybe if you're gonna say accidentally, you know, attempted to, you know, do a prank that, you know, went so wrong that nearly ended Jeff's life, but he's had no repercussions since. And you know, he's now launched Dobrik's, which is his new pizza place, and in this place, there is statues of eyeballs. Like sculptures, statues of eyeballs, which is a direct to Jeff Wittek. Now, you can say, oh, it's just a coincidence. Why the fuck at a pizza place Do you need to have sculptures of eyeballs? Like, it's so weird, and Jeff even openly says that David is doing all of these things to, like, provoke Jeff so that Jeff, you know, lashes out on David, and Jeff looks like angry man, and then David is able to, you know, say in court, oh my god, Jeff lashed out at me, and, you know, the judge won't care that David was provoking him, and that's why David is such a scary person. But anyway, Tana went to David Dobrik's launch of Dobrik's. Now, again, was seen photographed with all of these eyeball sculptures. She was seen photographed with David Dobrik. She was seen photographed with the vlog squad. She was on the red carpet. Basically, she got a lot of photos taken of her there, and it was very public that Tana had went to this event and was supporting the launch of it. Now, this completely contradicted being best friends with Jeff Wittek and everything Jeff Wittek says about what David did to him. Now, they sat down on the podcast and they basically had a very intense argument. We went through it on my last video. Again, you can go watch it. I'm trying my best to summarize it here, but I just have so many opinions on David Dobrik. So, Jeff says that he feels betrayed that Tana Mongeau went, and that Tana Mongeau is playing into David Dobrik's games by being there, being photographed, and then it turns into the argument, oh, everyone doesn't have a problem with David Dobrik, and it's only Jeff that has a problem with him, and then Jeff comes out the worst. He was saying this to Tana. Tana was basically saying to him, no, like, I'm a partier, I'm gonna go wherever I want, you know, I live in LA, like, there's like 20 members of the vlog squad, I'm gonna see them all the time, one of my friends just brought me to this event, and I just happened to be photographed at it, but I didn't put it on my social media, so I wasn't promoting it. But Jeff made the argument that, you know, on like Getty Images, there's pictures of Tana, and it was, you know, promoted by Dobrik's themselves that Tana was there, and it basically just makes Jeff look a fool, because his best friend, you know, who hears him talk about all the traumas he went through because of David Dobrik, is now at David Dobrik's event promoting it. So this was it. And it was basically really awkward to watch, and it was one of the first times in my life that I've actually agreed with the statement, Tana is gaslighting Jeff Wittek. Because Tana says to Jeff, you need to get over it. Like, she says, you know, I feel really bad for you that all of that happened with David Dobrik, but, you know, it's bad energy, you know, coming from you. Like, you're the one who's, like, clinging on to what David did, and you'd be so much happier if you just moved on. And she says these really off-the-cuff comments where she's like, you know, you're your worst enemy here. Like, if you just stopped focusing on David, you'd be so much happier. And Jeff's like, Tana, he nearly, literally, he nearly took me out. I've had so many surgeries. I've lost so much money. I've lost so many, you know, months of my life to this. And he's had no repercussions. You're now supporting it, and you're trying to make me the villain by saying that. And I literally have so many mixed opinions on Jeff Wittek, but I'm watching this being like, what is wrong with your best friend, Tana Mongeau? So I put out on the Facebook Muckers group, which you can join if you want, and on my YouTube community. It's where I always ask for your opinions on things. I said, to those who've watched my recent video, what's your opinion on the argument between Tana and Jeff? I'll read out a bunch of responses in an upcoming video. Now, the argument ends up with Tana saying, okay, well, we're never going to agree on this anyway, so let's move on. What a best friend that is. So we'll read a couple from YouTube, and then we'll go over to Facebook. So, Jadak said, as much as I love the dynamic between Tana and Jeff, I think that Tana was definitely just trying to deflect any responsibility as usual. Personally, I don't think Jeff is coming off as overreacting because he literally almost DIED'd because of David. I feel like Tana just really doesn't care or understand the repercussions of the actions that, you know, she, you know, supporting David Dobrik. Her saying, you know how much I love you over and over and over again is a lazy way to Jeff instead of doing a really, you know, a real apology, and she doesn't care about any real world consequences, in my opinion at least. So we have Grunt Value said, she's always gaslighting him and invalidating his feelings. The way Tana talks to Jeff with the I have nothing but love for you attitude is a cliche of a bad friend. She seems to be only looking out for herself, which is what I think this is with like clout. Like, she's going to as many events as possible. She doesn't care if it like contradicts, you know, who, you know, she supports. I'm moving around so much because I'm so excited to be back in this bed. This is what it boils down to. If I would assume most of you, unfortunately, like myself, this is not something I want for you, but I'm sure that, you know, we're all living in the real world and have experienced awful people, have experienced friends who have gaslit us, again, using that word, by using these, I love you so much, or, you know, don't be like that, you know, I'm getting triggered even saying it. I love you, don't be like that, you know I didn't mean it, you know, oh my god, I'm getting so angry repeating these because, oh my god. Oh my god. I've had this in friendships, but I've also had this in relationships. I've had this in relationships where it's like, don't be like that. You know I didn't mean that. Or, oh, I love you so much, like, don't be like that, or I love you, you're taking that the wrong way. Oh my god, I'm starting to like actively like trigger myself by repeating what Tana said because guys have said it to me. Sorry, only like one. But like, my best friends, ex-best friends, have also used these on me. I love you, don't be like that, or you're taking it too far, but you know I love you, I would never do anything to hurt. Oh! If you've been through that, which I assume most of you have, you understand my anger here. It's like, and this is what Tana was doing. Jeff would say a valid thing and she'd be like, you know I love you so much. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. I think you're the one that needs to, you know, be a little bit less, you know, triggered. I love you so much. She said it probably so many times with that, like, smoky ass voice, but like, oh my god. Alright, okay. So, Good Clean Brittany said she's incapable of holding herself accountable. It's insane. And you can tell while she's spinning her own narrative that she hopes that it sounds believable. It's interesting that she went from, I was there for 30 minutes at David's event and I didn't even want to be there, to her then saying, I talked to each person for 20 minutes individually about how special you are to me. So her story to Jeff wasn't even linking up and Jeff wasn't even pushing her on it. I think he was just giving up at that stage, which is sad that, like, not even his best friend, at least public best friend, is defending him in any way. Jeff, we're not even the biggest fans of you and we're defending you over here. Drop her. Like, oh my god. It's hard to have friend groups that, you know, don't interact, but it really shouldn't be so difficult to just not go. Jeff deserves a better friend than Tana. And I think that's an interesting thing as well, where it's like when you have friend groups that maybe don't get along, or maybe you have friends that don't get along. Again, I assume most of you out there have things like that. I have friends where their friends don't like me, so I don't meet up with them whenever they're with their other friends. I, you know, don't particularly like a couple people that my friends are friends with, so I just don't hang out with them whenever they're with them. You don't have to go and then meet up with the person and lie, which is what Tana's doing here. We're all adults, we can go around this better than that, but especially Tana professionally endorsing the enemy of her best friend, it's crazy. So, here we go. We have PMax said, they seem like great co-hosts, but that was absolutely the worst thing that Tana could have done as a friend, especially to Jeff, and the fact that she doesn't understand why it's not okay is so wild to me. Jeff is 100% in the right. A friend to everyone is not a friend. You know what I mean? Like, a friend to everyone is not someone you want. Tana has no loyalty, and I can guarantee if the shoe was on the other foot, she would never speak to Jeff again, and I'm sure there'd be so many story times. Alright, Shane said, or Shan Cat Todd said, we hate the term gaslight. We're all on the same page with that. But I can totally see why Jeff feels gaslit by her explanation. Even if she spent every single moment talking about Jeff while in the presence of David Dobrik, she was still there. It's too close to the fire, real world horrible things have happened, and they're currently in a legal matter. A true friend would just stay away. Show business friends are, you know, show business friends. They're in a different classification. If Jeff's your best friend, you don't need to be friends with all the business people. And I understand that. Now, a lot of people like Lisa Brown are saying, I've loved these two together, I've really enjoyed watching them, but I'm now, I really want this to work, basically the podcast between Tana and Jeff. Jeff seems to really care about Tana, but she really doesn't seem to care about him. A lot of people are saying this, and I'm gonna go over to Facebook now and just kind of read through like a couple and then scroll on a couple, but I think we're all kind of coming to the same conclusion where this hits home for a lot of us, where you feel that your friend isn't protecting you or looking out for you in any way and is actually not valuing your opinion on things and your real life experiences, and I just think that it's one of the most disrespectful things that can ever happen. So Angel said, Angel Renee Hefner, good name. She is just talking about how hurt she was over what she did to Jeff. So she kept repeating like, I'm so sorry if I ever hurt you. I love you so much. I'm so sorry if you took it this way. I'm so sorry. And it's like, shh. Acting like she agrees, but then contradicts everything she says after she says it. If she really loved Jeff, she'd be standing up for him, not supporting David and saying no to pictures if she really doesn't want to be in them and she wants to go to this event. Dobrik's happened to be going on over there, and she claims that she just happened to show up there. Everything she says is bullshit. Why go to a David event if you're just going to talk about Jeff? That makes it even weird. You said you were only there for 30 minutes, but you specifically had, as she quotes, 38 conversations, which were about 20 minutes each. Come on, Tana, with the lies. Kira said, Tana lies about everything and anything, and she sticks around people as long as they serve her, and then she's on to the next group. That's just what she does. So, we have Allison saying she's not letting Jeff actually call her out on it. It's like she's being emotionally manipulative, in my opinion. And that's exactly what she's doing, because she's saying like, Jeff, you were the one that brought this drama to, you know, social media, and you know, people think that now we're fighting and that we have all these arguments, and that's just because you brought it to social media. And she's like, I spent all week crying. Please go back and watch my last video where we actually dissect the clip. She literally turns it around on Jeff and is like, I know you were sad that I went to David's event and was promoting him, but I was crying all week because I thought that you were upset with me. It's like 101 emotionally manipulating someone, and it's not on. It's scary, and when someone does that, that's a clear red flag that you have to drop them. And I can't believe Jeff hasn't done this, but it really does seem that Jeff does value Tana. I think Jeff gets way more, or I think Tana gets way more out of being with Jeff. I think Jeff has a better reputation than Tana. So I don't know why Jeff is still clinging on to her whenever she really doesn't seem to care about him. It's like, again, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but like from a public standpoint, it just seems that like he's being used here yet again. Alright, okay. So Christine said, I just watched. Tana is minimizing Jeff's experience, and she's love bombing him and telling him to feel differently. Essentially, she's saying, I love you, but get over it. Because you're better than this. I love you, get over it. She is not in the right here. She's unintentionally gaslighting the shit out of him and blaming him for how he feels about the trauma. It's very sad. Lisa said, she's never once been an honest, friendly person. She's always lied about everyone in any situation until she gets caught in a lie. This is what her career is built off of. I'm surprised she has people who are still wanting to be her friend, but Jeff has literal brain damage, so I feel he may not even realize how terrible Tana is being to him, even if he sees it on a surface level. Now, I'm going to scroll down a bit to a couple other ones. So, we're going to say, Mitchie said, as someone who also suffers from TBI, traumatic brain injury, since I was 14, freshman year of high school, and I still have problems because of it, Tana pissed me off during this. It's not something that you can just get over. It's something that, you know, can get past, and you will always suffer and struggle almost every day, and it genuinely sucks. I will never forgive the driver that ran me off the road, and I will never stop supporting Jeff on this because I understand what he's going through, and the shit she was saying just pissed me off so much, especially when she was saying that he had to move on with his life as if he wasn't in an active lawsuit. The lawsuit is going to be the best therapy for Jeff, and she's dismissing it and acting like it's not that big of a deal. Honestly, Jeff needs to get people who genuinely support him and value him, because Tana, in my opinion, is showing that she doesn't give two shits about him in terms of his feelings or emotional, you know, physical, anything. At least that was the vibe that I got. Now, a lot of people are saying that they just felt this was very gaslighty. Now, we have Nicholas said, Tana will align herself with whatever the public opinion dictates, or if someone can provide her with what she wants. She only cares about people and what people can do for her. The way she's treated Jeff clearly shows that she doesn't care about what David did to him. She gaslit him and tried to guilt Jeff for making her feel upset because of something that she did that made him upset. And she says that I cried for a week straight. It was so toxic. I feel sorry for everyone who is Tana's friend in their own lives because, you know, they never considered their own feelings. So a lot of people are saying that. Now, Jam said, I think Tana sees it as something that isn't that deep. I don't think she's trying to be a bad friend, but she is being a bad friend, so here's a different angle. She's also seeing Jeff as the bad guy for making her feel bad and for starting a fight with her about it. Jeff is completely in the right, though, to be upset. She's calling herself his best friend, but still associating best friend-wise with David Dobrik. If that was me and some random member of the vlog squad brought me there, I'd be like, ha ha ha, nope, and leave. And that's what Tana should have done. Now, again, just scrolling through this, we'll read this last one. First of all, I'll read these last two. So Ryan said, Tana's playing both sides without trying to hurt Jeff's feelings and also not trying to hurt David's feelings. And in doing so, she's minimizing his pain and awful experiences with David by love bombing him and gaslighting. Also low-key thinking that, you know, she just shouldn't be there with David in general. Okay, we'll leave this last one from Sinead. My opinion is she's being so awful to him. I wouldn't have been able to sit there and listen to her trying to bring me down. I would have been like, get out of my space right now and think about who you're wanting to be there for. Don't sit there and tell me all this nonsense of, get over it, Jeff, I did nothing wrong, about Tana saying that she did nothing wrong. Hi, I hear you, baby, I'll feed you right after this. I just came back from a trip and I've been like feeding them so much wet food and they think that that's like a sign that they can get more, and I'm just like lying to them. I'll give you more after filming. I won't. By the way, it's not like children, it's my cats, just if you're a new viewer, so it's my cat. So, read the room, Tana. She was just defending herself the whole time, not at all putting herself in the shoes of the victim, which was Jeff. He was also trying to tell her David was just using her to get something and make him look bad, but she just doesn't care, I guess. And I think that's a great point to end it on, that Jeff was also saying that you did all this that hurt me, but also you are directly being used by David. David wanted you there to get a picture. He didn't want you at the event other than to take a picture, and then it, fuels this argument of even Tana, Jeff's, best friend, supports Dobrik's, because that's all he cares about, which is so scary, like the mind of David Dobrik. Muckers, I want to know, where you're at with this. If you didn't write your opinion down there, let me know your opinion here. I just think it's so crazy. And again, go watch the last video if you don't know what we're talking about. But I think I kind of explained it as best as I can. But I mean, there's nothing that'll compare to, watching it. Okay, I love you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your time. And I'll see you in my next one. And again, don't be the Tana in a frame grip. Because it's not nice. Don't. And don't be the David Dobrik, for fuck's sake. Alright, I love you, bye.